Corum dancing to the left. Good move, Corum into the secondary. Blake Corum to the 15-yard line. McCarthy under center. Corum's got the edge. Blake Corum on the run. Corum might go. Corum to the pylon.
I'm Alex Johnson. This is Yards Per Fantasy, and today we're talking Michigan running back Blake Corum. We're going to dive into his background and college career, discuss the positives and negatives in his prospect profile, try to determine his dynasty value, and if and where you should target him in your rookie drafts. Blake Corum, he's a running back out of Michigan. He's a senior. He's 23 years old. He's listed at 5'8", 205 pounds. Blake Corum played high school football at St. Francis Academy in Baltimore, Maryland. There, he dominated with more than 2,600 rushing yards and 39 touchdowns over his final 2 seasons. He was a 4-star prospect in the class of 2020, and he was the number 12 ranked running back in the nation. Corum chose to attend Michigan over offers from Ohio State, Georgia, LSU, Boston College, North Carolina, Ole Miss, and others. He played in 6 games as a freshman, carrying the ball 26 times for 77 yards and 2 touchdowns. He saw a greater opportunity in 2021, working behind Hassan Haskins as Michigan's number 2 running back. Corum toted the rock 144 times for 952 yards and 11 touchdowns, while adding another 141 yards and a score on 24 receptions. With Haskins departing for the NFL in 2022, it was Corum's turn to lead the Michigan backfield. He took full advantage of the opportunity, amassing 1,463 rushing yards and 18 touchdowns on 247 carries. And that included a 5-touchdown outing against UConn. Now, despite the increased role on the ground, his usage in the passing game actually regressed, resulting in just 11 receptions for 80 yards and 1 touchdown. And then a late season knee injury cut his season short. Still, Corum was recognized for his great year with All-American honors and his 7th place finish in the Heisman Trophy voting. And he built off that breakout campaign with another strong performance as a senior in 2023. Corum led the Wolverines with 1,245 yards on 258 carries with an incredible 27 touchdowns. And he added another 117 yards on 16 receptions. Not only did Corum set the Michigan single-season rushing touchdown record, but he also became the school's all-time leader in career rushing touchdowns with 58 and total touchdowns with 61, as well as most points scored in a career. And then he capped off his season with 134 yards and 2 touchdowns in Michigan's national championship win over Washington. And Corum was named the offensive MVP of that game. And he couldn't go out without setting just one more record. Corum and his backfield mate Donovan Edwards teamed up to become the first duo to each rush for over 100 yards in a national championship game. So let's talk about the positives, the things that we like in Blake Corum's profile. The first is he has great vision and he has great patience. And to pair with that, he has great change of direction ability. Blake Corum has experience as a kick returner, and he accounted for 43.8% of the Michigan offensive touchdowns in 2023. That is an absolute elite number. And as part of that, he had 61 career touchdowns in 4 years. Just an incredibly productive running back. And that included his more than 3,600 rushing yards over the last 3 seasons. On the negative side, Blake Corum lacks a little bit of power and effectiveness in short yardage situations. He's 5'8", 205 pounds, so it doesn't surprise anybody that he's not exactly Derrick Henry out here pushing piles and dragging defenders 15 yards down the field. He also lacks breakaway speed. He ran a respectable 4.53 40th NFL Combine, but he's certainly not a home run hitter. He's also a little bit of an older prospect. He's 23 years old. He's going to turn 24 during his rookie season. And you can compare that to one of the other top running backs in the class, Braylon Allen, who just turned 20 after his final college season. Blake Corum also experienced underwhelming passing game usage, and he had underwhelming passing game production, and that included a 6.2 reception share in 2023. I really want to see these running backs hit at least 10% in reception share. Blake Corum is one of these guys who can catch passes on swings and checkdowns and screens, but you're not going to mistake him for a weapon as a receiver. But before we get into my NFL comp and my draft projection for Blake Corum, I just want to remind you that you don't have to wait until your rookie drafts to get some hands on some Blake Corum shares. Underdog Fantasy makes it possible to draft these rookies right now. So go draft some Blake Corum, or some Marvin Harrison Jr., or Malik Neighbors, or Brock Bowers. These rookies present such a great value in drafts that are happening right now. And when you sign up for Underdog Fantasy, make sure you use promo code YARDSPER, and they will double your deposit up to $100. I'm having a blast drafting these rookies on my 2024 teams, so come join the fun and find me in a draft room. The archetype for Blake Corum, he's a one-cut slasher. My NFL comp for him is Ray Rice. Remember Ray Rice? He was a small, kind of do-it-all running back. Had some really productive years with the Ravens. I certainly believe Blake Corum is a better person off the field, but they're similar players on it. In my NFL draft projection, I expect Blake Corum to come off the board in the second round. It's very possible he's the first running back drafted. A lot of people are projecting him to rejoin Jim Harbaugh with the Chargers. That's very possible. Either way, I expect a team to draft him in round 2. The bottom line is, Blake Corum is one of the better running backs in the 2024 draft class. He is a natural runner who displays good patience and vision and discipline behind the line of scrimmage. He uses his blockers well to get to the second level of a defense, but he's also creative enough to make something happen on his own as well. Blake Corum is a high-energy runner with requisite speed, plus exceptional lateral agility and acceleration. At Michigan, he gained experience in both zone and gap schemes, so he will be a fit in just about any offense that drafts him. And while Corum has the toughness and willingness to get physical, he wasn't the most effective short yardage and goal line guy in college. He was also not used a whole lot in the passing game either. However, Blake Corum flashed skill and upside in terms of both hands and route running ability. Perhaps this is an area of his game that he will be able to expand on at the next level. In the NFL, Blake Corum projects as a mid-level starter, high-end RB2 who can beef up a backfield in need of a plug-and-play running back. He is likely to come off the board in the second round of the NFL draft with a real shot to be the first running back drafted. Draft capital and landing spot will determine his dynasty ADP, but Blake Corum is looking like a top 5 running back in the class who could find his way into the back end of the first round of rookie drafts.